hello, hello. Sean Brady coming to you live stream via YouTube. So you may see this live. You may see it recorded. You may see Metal Mania. What is Metal Mania? Metal Mania is actually to remind myself that this is my daughter's robotics team. And with all the crazy things with COVID, with school going back in the fall, schools cutting programs and stuff like that, we got to figure out how to have our children engaged, interactive with their own stuff. So we're not 100% sure how we're going to keep the robotics team going. We're not sure if we're going to keep this name. We're not sure we'll keep the team. But, we did it with Vex Robotics, and they were supposed to go to Worlds, the World Championship, literally competing with teams from all around the planet. And of course, with COVID, that was shut down right away, first with China and then the rest of the country. So that was a big, big bummer, especially for me, since I love going out to experiences like that. It was very cool stuff. But that's not necessarily the topic of conversation for today. But I wanted to bring up Metal Mania and just what I'm doing and sharing to maybe give some insight for what we're doing and how we're doing it. But I know we had a couple options with our school district, and it was either a part-time go back to school or 100% virtual. And so it was 2 days a week, full-time with limited classrooms. They'd split the class, and so everybody go 2 days a week in classroom and then 1 day virtual help and learning that way. So everybody would do that, and then 2 days a week, or 100% virtual. So you can kind of get the scenario. So we chose to send our kids to school. We liked the protocols that our school district had put into place, liked them enough that they had a game plan. And, there's hope is not a strategy, and hoping somebody's going to take care of it isn't the best thing. But they actually had a pretty solid structure into their approach. And they actually shared some things that I hadn't thought about, little detail things that made a difference for us. So simple things like, look, we're not having notebooks and books. We're using Chromebooks in the classroom. And instead of, handing out paper homework for the kids to bring home in backpacks, and have an actual backpack to bring back and forth, which could be going from the home to the school, to the school, to the home, and a transmitter of one more thing of germs that we can't clean easily. They said ixnay on that, and they even recommended the brown paper bags. So brown bag in it, instead of all those cool little coolers or lunch boxes that, I try to get my kids to use the same one all through school, but they want a new one every year. But we're not doing that. They want the disposable stuff so that we're ridding ourselves of as many of the germs as possible. And of course, we know from all of our newfound knowledge that paper doesn't, the virus doesn't live on paper and cardboard products as long as other things. So all that being said, the protocols that they put into place are pretty smart. They canceled a lot of after school programs. They just can't handle the extra cleaning capacity. But we still want to do our robotics club. So I think a lot of that's going to be virtual, and that's going to be on the shoulders of parents and volunteers, which it predominantly is anyway. And I know sports will be affected, and certainly the competitions for coming together in larger groups, because some of these events would be literally hundreds, if not thousands of people in a confined space. So there will be a different way to do that, but we can't stop our progress and robotics and AI, artificial intelligence, and all these other things that they learn. Teamwork in a new way will have to be learned in the future. And as I said to a neighbor even today, and one of the justifications of virtual learning is our kids are just going to have to learn more virtual learning. We already have had to do that for the past couple decades. I know I personally have, for professional certifications or, different things that we need to do so that we're in compliance with different things. There's all this virtual and e-learning type of play, and it's not necessarily easy for kids to do. We think it's going to be intuitive because they grow up with this stuff, and we're still new to it. We're trying to figure out how we all learn and grow together. So I think humanity as a social animal, social beings, We need that interaction from each other, and that's another reason why we're happy for them to have some contact, or certainly in the same vicinity, physical vicinity of their peers. There's something about peer-to-peer learning that they just can't get at home from us, and that's how we build society. So, all that being said, that's why I wore this T-shirt. Metal Mania. I'm missing it, but we're being smart and being safe where we can. So, all that being said, the thing that I shared about here for leverage your lunch hour, and again, leverage your lunch hour is all about not spending your whole time with me for the whole lunch hour, but just a little bit of thinking and insight that you can take into your own life to improve your situation, your cause, your business, whatever the organization might be. Just to take some new thinking and put it into, because that's what I like. I love to do that with the business I interact with, my clients, my coaches, consulting clients, and everything. So if we take a little bit of that and leveraging our lunch hour, leverage our thinking part of the day, we have insightful gains. And I was listening to was it Rich McClure being interviewed on another podcast from Mosaic Wealth. And one of the things that Unilever CEO and things like that, was it Unilever? No, so Unigroup, maybe. I forget exactly. I'm butchering and messing stuff up. But hey, this is real. But the thing I did take away from that was, hey, look, be reflective. And I think they use the word abiding, but really connect with yourself and learn from yourself. So take pause, certainly grow your mind. Other people say read an hour a day. Be committed to that. And statistics have shown that of all the CEOs in the world, on average they read at least a book a month. Some read a book a week. So that's certainly more than an hour, unless everyone's a speed reader. And I've even known people who, in their leadership programs, they read a book a day. Some people even skim a book a day. Don't skip a book a day, but they read something every day. And I think the bigger part of it in this insightful gains, in my takeaway today, was actually being reflective with yourself for a certain amount of time. And it kind of goes back to meditative practices. And I know I've shared this at least one other podcast or Zoomcast, is if you don't have half an hour a day to meditate, you probably need 60 minutes or an hour. So make the time. Just like your physical well-being, we know that, okay, it's a little bit of work. It's mostly our choices that we put through our mouth that make the difference in our well-being. So begin there, and you intuitively know already what to do. You know what to do. I give you permission to follow your heart and do it. Give yourself that. Insightful gains. Leverage your lunch hour. I'm Sean Brady, and I hope this provided some insightful gain in your life, and certainly leverage your thinking to do better in your life, in your community, and for the planet. We may not see you in person, but we'll always see you right here on social media. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being you. And thanks for letting me sign off with low technology problems. All right, everybody.